people of the United States. In this video, I'd like to discuss our economic situation as a nation. If you listen to the mainstream media, our economy is getting better. If you look at the traditional bellwethers for economy, it is starting to look up. Numbers of jobs created have surpassed the number of people applying for jobs. The thing is, if I open my eyes and I look around to the people on the street, to the people that I socialize with, and to my family members, I can't hardly find anybody, including myself, who can honestly say that I am better off now than I was at the beginning of this economic downturn. So if the traditional standards to measure our economy are not telling the full story, what is? The topics I look to help me gauge where we are economically is the labor participation rate, and in which sectors the growth that is being reflected, where that growth is growing at, which by large part is the convenience industry, fast food, part-time type work. So when I went to the United States Department of Labor and Bureau of Labor Statistics, their website, I find that from 2004 until 2007, our labor participation rate started in 2004 at 66%. And it was peaked in January 2007 at 66.5%. After the crash at the end of 2007 and the beginning of 2008, we initially dropped back down to a 66%. However, in the middle of 2008, our participation rate started plummeting. Hasn't stopped yet. According to that graph that I found on the website, as of January 2014, we are now at a 62.75% participation rate. This is a negative drop in people participating in the workforce by 3.75%. You take 3.75% and you add that, and you find the actual numbers of individuals in the working age realm here in the United States. That is 12 million Americans. 12 million more Americans who are not even looking for a job anymore because they can't find one. And they gave up. With 12 million more people not even looking for work anymore, what are the second and third order effects on a national level? Well, for that individual that is within the group of the 12 million, this means that you still have to survive. We have to. We're humans. That's what we're designed to do, is to survive. You probably utilize welfare, food stamps. You still have access to emergency services, and you may be living on the streets without your own roof, or you may have fallen within the realm to receive government housing. And all of these benefits are not free. For those of us lucky enough to still have a job, this means that our tax dollars are going to just helping these unfortunate souls survive. And if more money is being spent just to assist those 12 million new jobless people, we have less money to take care of our veterans, our disabled, less money to provide for the common defense, and less money to utilize to finance our research into various areas for the furtherment of all mankind, everyone. Every time I drive through a low-income neighborhood, my initial thoughts are, it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Perhaps if you got a job, instead of sitting on the stoop of your tract housing drinking a 40-ounce, you could get out of this dump. But Americans, this is the wrong thought process. The vast majority of Americans living in these kinds of conditions do not have the skill set to get up out of there. I submit to you, my fellow Americans, that helping the destitute, homeless, and hungry to just survive is not good enough. Helping a jobless American settle for a fast food or part-time work, it's not good enough. Merely providing a roof for these needy families is not enough. If these things are not enough, then how do we face this monster? The answer is pretty simple. Regardless of your faith, or if you don't choose a religion, I know that you can still find the correct answer of what we need to do inside of the Holy Bible. The Holy Bible teaches us if you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. And you probably also make him dependent on you for that fish. But if you teach a man to fish, you are not only feeding him for a lifetime, you're feeding his family for a lifetime. You are also giving him a skill set in which he can participate with the rest of society in the furtherment of our civilization. The ability, giving a human being the ability to provide for themselves, gives them power, it gives them self-worth, and it makes them a valuable member of our community. I suggest we revamp the welfare system to where instead of a lifetime of indefinite, minuscule bullshit welfare checks to all these people, we take that money and we invest it into those individuals. We give them work training. We give them the education that they need to become a viable member of our society, building things instead of just consuming things. And you see, when they have a job, a decent job that pays decent, that they can survive and that they can provide for their families and provide a future for their offspring, we now have a new taxpayer. And instead of our tax money going to help his family, his or her family, I stand corrected, to help them survive, now we have made them a productive member of our community, and they are paying taxes like the rest of us, and they are becoming more educated, and they understand how things work in our society. And instead of just becoming, I want more for me, me, and they want the taxpayers to provide it, now they are given the power to save the money to get what they want or need for their family. And that is what we stand for as Americans. The ability to pursue, as you were, the right to the pursuit of happiness. There is no guarantees that you will be happy, but we're guaranteeing you the right to be able to try to work for happiness. If we can get 12 million more Americans who are no longer in the workforce, the training to enter back into the workforce become viable. We're no longer paying the 12 million people to stay away from entry-level jobs. We are giving them the tools needed to give them their fair shot at the pursuit of happiness. As Americans, that's the only thing that we've been promised. You and I haven't been promised that we will be rich. We have not been promised that we will be given all these things. We have been promised the right to chase after the things that we want. Thank you, United States. Have a Merry Christmas.